12. And Lisa Salters joins us now in transit to Dallas for the Washington game. And Lisa is there in an airport somewhere with her young son, Sam. By the way, nothing worse than traveling with a little kid, Lisa. Thank you so much for calling in. How is Sam this morning?
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
He's good, but he's good and bad because I've been trying to keep him up all morning and into the early afternoon so that he'll sleep on the plane. So he's overdue for a nap, cranky, all of that.
So tell me this, because I go footy pajamas at that point. Do you go footy pajamas for this travel, or did you get him dressed?
No, I got him dressed because it's daytime, and, we're going to get to Dallas, and it's 90 degrees. Oh, my gosh. So I have him in layers so I can strip off the layers once we get there. But for night travel, for sure, he's in the footy pajamas.
And what's your tack here? What's your attack? Do you go iPad on the plane to keep him quiet, or what do you do? Do you pre-medicate?
Nabi Jr. and my iPad. That's what we're going with now at 19 months. We'll see how it works. I'm just hoping he goes to sleep. I mean, that's the best. That's the best.
There's nothing better as a mom than having your kids sleep on a plane, because you always feel the pressure of the people around you who stare at you when you walk on the plane with the kid. Try it with 3.
And the people around, and other people say, you know what I always say? That you'll never see these people again. Well, that's not true in our case.
And also,
they will
when
always see us.
They'll always see you. They'll go on Twitter and say Lisa Salters was abusing her child, which is so nice.
Nightmare child, exactly.
Lisa, how do you like doing Monday Night Football? I mean, do you still think of yourself as just a reporter? Do you ever pinch yourself and say, I've actually made it to Monday night?
It was nothing that I ever aspired to do. I just never thought that, Monday Night Football seemed like this iconic thing that only special people got to do. So, I mean, to think that I'm doing it, and this is my 3rd year doing it, it's incredible.
Uh-oh. We got Lisa. She probably dropped the phone. She's probably picking up Cheerios from the ground, which is pretty, basically what I would be doing. Lisa, do we have you? Massey, I think did we lose Lisa? It's a cell phone. That's the issue when we do an interview with a cell phone, but.
She's back on.
We got Lisa
she's
back
back.
now.
Okay.
Lisa, was it a Cheerio situation? What happened? Tell us what happened.
I have no idea.
Give us a sideline report.
Just walking and lost you. Sorry.
Honey, I get it. So what's your approach as a sideline reporter for this game? How do you figure out your stories ahead of time? Obviously, DeMarco Murray will be a huge story for you walking in, but what else do you have your eye on?
I mean, Susie, when you have stories, games like this, you're just like, just happy as glam, because the stories are built in right there for you. I was reading the 40 pages of notes that I read every week for the game, and I just whizzed through it because it's like, I know all of this. I know what the storylines are already. DeMarco Murray, like you said, how about Colt McCoy?
Which, by the way, and I told you this,
going back to his home state.
It's the greatest name in football. If I could name my kid Colt McCoy Eisen without sounding ridiculous, he gets to go home. The UT hero gets to go home and in front of this huge stadium go to town. But I don't think Tony Romo has any interest in sharing the spotlight with him at all.
No, probably not. But I'm just so happy for Colt. Like the last time I saw him earlier this year when we had a preseason game with the Reds, with Washington. And when I saw him, I said, I haven't seen you since that championship game out in Pasadena where he hurt his shoulder. In the post-game interview I did with him, even though he didn't finish the game, he was in tears, and I hadn't seen him since that time. And he said, I said, do you still think about that game? He said, I think about it every day. He still thinks about that game every day and hurting his shoulder and not being able to finish the game. And he said that this year, this offseason, was the first time he really actually felt right since hurting the shoulder, which I thought was incredible. That was, 5 years ago?
See, I think that's what's so interesting. When you are the reporter, you get to know the guys differently than if you're just Mike or John Gruden sitting up there and they come in and out and the guys have some reverence and they get all nervous with them around. When you're the reporter, especially in college football, you get to know these young guys on such a different level. And you feel for them. I mean, I know I felt emotional when I would have an injury. I'd see a shoulder, I'd see an ankle or a bone break, and you just know how hard these kids work.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was standing there at midfield doing this interview with him, and he just couldn't speak, and I had my arm around him, and I was just trying to just hold him like, you can do this. It's okay. You can talk. And, it's like you feel like you're like their mother or something because they're so young. Same with DeMarco Murray. We followed him forever. So, a couple of years ago I saw him. He was with the Cowboys, and, I was happy for him. But the thing with DeMarco Murray, great back, but he hasn't played a full season yet.
Right.
And so that's what worries me, is that I want to see him, get through 16 games. He's just like playing lights out right now, and I just want to see it continue for 16 games because he has been injury prone his first couple of years in the league.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Speaking of injury prone, you look at RG3, and I know as a sideline reporter, I hear ankle sprain, and I think that is going to be trouble for a long time. Ankle sprains are hard to come back from. Dislocated ankle and things like that are hard to come back from.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Especially for a football player or a basketball player, even more so. And it depends on what position you're playing. If he's a big lineman or something like that, maybe he can get away with a little less movement, flexibility in the ankle. But as the quarterback, as a mobile quarterback, that's not going to work. So, they keep saying that he's not been ruled out, but I think it would be nearly impossible that he would be able to get back on the field and outplay Colt McCoy at this point.
Who's playing so well.
Yeah, I just think Colt McCoy deserves a shot. It's almost kind of like it was written for him to have this shot in Texas.
No, it's a Texas weekend. It's a Colt McCoy Monday night. We know that that's coming up. You mentioned basketball. I wanted to bring up Kobe Bryant just because this week there's been so much to do about the article. I think it was in Grantland that was discussing whether Kobe has scared off all the free agents from El Segundo. What's your take on that, Lise? I mean, you and I have known him, and we've covered him his entire career. He's a formidable presence. I love what Jeannie Buss said about the losers out there, and if you're not man enough to come, then don't bother coming. But what's your take as to whether or not there's some truth to this story?
I think that there's probably some truth to it, but like Jeannie Buss said, I don't know if I would go as far as to label everyone a loser who doesn't want to
That's so Jeannie Buss, though.
But Kobe Bryant is not for the faint of heart. He doesn't suffer fools well, and, he's all about business. So if that's not going to be you, and if it's not you, that's okay. It's not to say that it's like I love Dwight Howard, but Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant are two different types of business people, two different types of athletes. I wouldn't say that Dwight cares about his craft any less than Kobe, but they come about it at two different ways, and it just didn't mix.
Right.
So there are going to be people who don't want to feel like they're under the Kobe Bryant microscope, and there are going to be others who say, "Bring it on! He's going to make me better. I want that."
Oh, can't wait to see who might come in there, because now, especially with the Steve Nash injury, which is looking like a career-ending injury, they need some help in that locker room, which is, by the way, around the corner. I might even pop over there after one of the shows one day. We're literally
I felt really bad
close.
when I heard that about Steve yesterday, because it probably would be, it just seems like it, this is 2 years in a row now.
It's got to be done, don't you think? I mean, he's the oldest player in the NBA. I think that
I think so. At 40, for sure.
40, my gosh. I mean, forget about us. 40, I'll take it. Lise, thank you so much. Go chase your kid. Get him some sugar in the airline.
Wish us luck on this flight. It's a 3-hour flight to Dallas.
Honey, that's nothing. That's like a couple Scooby-Doos. That's got to be like maybe an M&M's package. My advice to you is I dole out the M&Ms one at a time. It's like a game. You take the M&Ms one game at a time.
You got it.
Thanks for joining, Lise.
Thanks, guys.
It's great having you on.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern, on Audience.